Hello everyone, myself Madan Pisharody, I am a GeoShred player and we have one more GeoShred player with us, Raji Krishnan. So let's introduce yourself by sharing your experience with being in music.
Sure, thank you so much, Madan.
Yeah.
To start with, I've been with music for a very long time, right from childhood and right from my school days. Been participating in a lot of music programs and competitions, and finally I got a chance to learn Hindustani classical music much later in life. Maybe when I was around 40 years, I started learning Hindustani classical.
40 years. Yes.
Yeah. And
there's no age limit. Yes.
There's no age limit. Yeah. There's no age for learning. Yeah.
True.
So, and when the lockdown started, I saw that you were playing a very interesting instrument. And when I saw that it was iPad, I was all the more interested. And I said, why not I try this? Because you said you would teach me online. And that was even more wonderful because being locked down, you couldn't go anywhere those days. And that's how I started learning GeoShred. And as I started learning GeoShred, I felt, this instrument is an amazing instrument. It's so expressive. It's like as if it's the closest representation of human vocal cords.
Exactly.
Like you sing with gamakas and articulations and mean, and you can produce exactly the same on this instrument. And that's what fascinated me the most.
I completely
And
agree.
I decided to go ahead with this and be with it in a long-term journey.
Wow.
And of course, as you encouraged me to start teaching, I've started teaching also. And it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful experience teaching young students, working professionals, older students, students who are like almost 70 years.
Wow.
So I've got students, it's amazing. And for each student of different age group, it's almost like a tailor-made course. So it depends on the grasping and all that.
Amazing.
So it was wonderful, amazing experience in totality.
Great. So when it comes to GeoShred, like for example, okay, now you know and I know, and probably the viewers know that this is an instrument and there is a GeoShred. How do you come across a situation where you must be there will be a lot of people asking you, what is that exactly you're doing? Is that an iPad or what is that exactly you're doing? It sounds like violin, it sounds like flute. So how do you come across that journey and converting them to really keen in learning GeoShred and converting them into making them understand, okay, this is a serious instrument. Like a lot of times, I have my family members playing that you're just playing Candy Crush and making music. So how do you go about explaining the art of this GeoShred?
The best part of GeoShred is that you can play several instruments on this app. Although it's an app, I think we regard this as a very, very precious instrument.
True.
So we can play, as I said, a lot of instruments, and every instrument that we play on GeoShred is played with different techniques so that the sounds produced are so close to the original instrument.
Exactly.
So
like the vibratos and
the violin.
It's the sensitivity and the expressions are really very close. It's very close to the real instrument.
Absolutely.
They are physically modeled and that's why they sound really close to real.
And so expressive, so fluidly expressive.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Okay, so coming back to the question, how do you go on explaining them? Basically, so do they come and do you ever got anybody asking you saying that, okay, so but there is a violin available, there is a sarangi or flute, and why do we have to learn GeoShred like that? It's an iPad, of course. So how do you really reply to them? Or
well, I have had people asking me that I have been dreaming of learning violin, but never got a chance, or it was never possible for me to go through the entire journey, because no doubt it's a very long journey. So I've had people asking me, I had a dream to learn violin, but can I fulfill my dreams by playing the violin on GeoShred?
GeoShred, yes.
Yeah, and that's how then it led them to join the class and
Yes,
kind
yes.
of start playing the
Even
geo
though
violin.
physically it doesn't look like a violin or any
Yeah.
of those instruments,
Absolutely.
but like for me, I've been wanting to play like several instruments like the saxophone, the cello, and like these two are like totally different instruments. It requires like years of practice to play them. And firstly, the instrument like cello, it's really consuming. It consumes a lot of space in your house.
Yeah.
But of course, I didn't want to be a full-time player of playing a cello or a full-time player playing a saxophone. And being a music producer, sometimes I requires like a 2-bar or 3-bar or 4 bars in between. And GeoShred has been a blessing in that
Absolutely,
way. Like,
absolutely.
really got closer to the real instruments. Especially after the arrival of the GeoSwarm and now with the Nada. So when it comes to GeoShred, we can't go ahead without taking the name
Yeah.
of GeoSwarm and Nada.
GeoSwarm and
So how do you what is your favorite preset in GeoSwarm or Nada?
GeoSwarm, of course, Sarangi preset number 274, which has been created by none
It's
other than
275. I guess.
275. Yeah,
Yes,
sorry,
275.
275.
Yeah, correct.
Which has been created by none other than Navneet Sundar sir.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my favorite preset.
Yeah.
And in the Nada, I loved playing Saraswati Veena.
Wow. Great. Amazing.
And again, I have one more thing to say about students asking some questions.
Oh, wow.
There are many of the students, in fact, they have a question. I have never learnt music. I have never learned any instrument. Neither have I learnt any vocals. Can I still learn GeoShred?
Oh,
This is one question. Yeah, this is one question which I get from a lot of students.
Yes.
So the answer to that is, anyone who has an ear for music, who loves to listen to music, can learn GeoShred.
Anyone who loves to listen to music can
Yeah.
learn GeoShred. Great. So, of course, when we play GeoShred, we use it extensively on our on the works of in the social media uploads and promotional works, and also to display what we can do with the GeoShred. So can you share your process of how do you go about right from the scratch to the final video that comes on the YouTube or Instagram? Yeah.
Well, first, obviously the song is decided
Yes.
and practiced well on the GeoShred. And again, the instrument or the preset that we choose is as per the song. So, for example, if it's Lataji's song, which has a lot of gamaks in it, then I would choose my favorite Sarangi.
Wow.
And if it is, say, some song like, say, Tanha Tanha or Tu Mile Dil Khile, these songs sound really good on flute.
Yes. So songs do have their own respective instruments that you really need to choose.
Yeah. So the choice of instrument also matters.
Yes.
And then, of course, I get the backing track from you, help from you, and then it is recorded and shot.
Recorded in short.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like in the similar way, but being a music producer, I always think about where I can fit these GeoShred in my production aspect. So if I have clients coming over and they have a special requirement of a song which has a sad element or something like that, so I take up something like Sarangi, which has a lot of depth in it and expression in it, and I might use some very ragas that kind of gives you a little melancholic, something like a Charukeshi raga, or something which has a Bhairav, which has a little more depth in it. And for uplifting, I kind of use a Desh rag, like something like that. And if it's a hip hop song and if it's a dance number, something like that, I use a lot of staccatos on violins. And if it is a devotional one, then I of course use a flute. So for me to play them is really fun, because like there are some interlude portions in the music, even though the clients have a specific demand that they need the music in this way, that way, but I know that okay, I have my contribution in this one. I played GeoShred in these areas, like that. I got this idea from one of the track played by Mahesh Raghavan in one of the Malayalam song, Jeevamshamai. So in Jeevamshamai, in like
that's an amazing song.
That's an amazing song. So there is a portion where the Shreya Ghoshal ends and then his GeoShred starts.
Yes, yes.
And it blends so pretty well that you actually don't pay attention to the whole thing, but as a whole thing you really enjoy. And then later on when I saw the credits, okay, there is a mention of GeoShred in that, and then I specifically I noticed that. Likewise, there used to be an instrument called continuum fingerboard way before we had all these other MP instruments, which A.R. Rahman has used in and one of the song in Delhi 6 he used in Rehna Tu, he has used a continuum fingerboard. In fact, he did the entire fingerboard solo in one of the soundtrack from the Hollywood movie 120 Sun Hours. He used Darbari Kannada and played the entire song on continuum fingerboard. That was when it struck me that we should have something like a touch screen interface and we can just glide our fingers, and now we have GeoShred with us.
Yes.
So going forward, what do you see as a future of GeoShred, and what do you really want, like what other sounds that you're really looking forward in GeoShred?
I think for Indian music, I would definitely want maybe more Indian tones on this.
Okay.
Yeah, of course we have a lot of them.
Yeah, we have
a lot of them now already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, some of them maybe more user friendly.
Wow.
So that more people who are not so much into music can also play.
Okay. I am actually looking forward to something like some raw sounds, like something like sarod and sitar also. Yeah, sitar, sarod, and in that direction.
Yeah.
More of an Indian instruments. Like they already have plenty. Like I cannot ask more, but yes, if we can really get sarod and sitar, that would be really amazing.
Really great. Yeah.
That will be really great.
That is what even I had in my mind.
Wow. Great. Amazing. So
you were mentioning about some wonderful courses on LivDemy. Can you just explain something about that? Can you just elaborate?
So at LivDemy, like we have been having amazing courses right from the first course by Mahesh, the introduction to GeoShred. There has been a course and it's still there. And post that, me and Mahesh, we worked on teaching face-to-face lessons, and I'm still teaching face-to-face lessons to the group sessions of the students. And we have been really getting amazing response from from young ones, from the people, job-oriented people, and they somehow take out time and they look forward for that one, like Friday night or a Saturday morning or something. And we have amazing players like Keshav, Agastya, Salil, and many more, in fact.
Yeah, I know. And mentioning about them.
Yes, they are really talented. They are amazing. So we thought, why not let's expand this a bit more and give more opportunity and more exposure to, firstly to this instrument GeoShred, and more awareness to this instrument, and at the same time let's make it a little more flexible for the students, so they'll be in a position to choose whichever they like. Like for example, Mahesh teaches more in terms of sliding techniques, intermediate techniques, more about improvisations and stuff. And my forte is teaching the instrument presets like sarangi, flute, and violin. And that's where the student really gets the chance to just pick it up whatever they want.
Yeah.
And also
amazing.
Also we are coming up with like individual video lesson courses where it will be specific to certain instrument and certain instrument genres, certain genres like I would be focusing more on the Bollywood songs or the song elements. We also have courses coming up with Navneet Sundar sir, where he'll be teaching the Carnatic nuances, and Mahesh has a lot to share about how he goes about doing all his techniques on the platform. So yes, and we are still working out on gathering more and more diversification in the course, so that the student really gets to choose what they want to do.
Can you throw some light on the future of GeoShred? Like how long can one go on with GeoShred, or what would be the journey of a musician with GeoShred?
I can go on and on the whole night with GeoShred, but yeah, jokes aside, GeoShred, in my opinion, is the future. GeoShred is based on the technology called MPE technology, which is the MIDI polyphonic expression. And there are several other instruments or the controllers, like there is C-board, E-Ray Touch, Linstruments, Continuum fingerboard, and plenty. Like there are a lot of keyboards like Roly Lumi and Expressive Touch. Like a lot of instruments are there. I personally like GeoShred being everything in one. Like I don't need a separate controller. I don't need a separate computer device to produce a sound. So it's everything in one go. And the best part of GeoShred is it's an app which is in iPad. I can produce music using the iPad. I can use GeoShred as an instrument within the same iPad device.
Yes.
So effectively, if anybody who would like to make music on the go, this is the space he or she requires to create music.
Yeah.
Just wear your earphones or earbuds, don't disturb anyone, just play your music, create a track in the iPad itself, create your music on the go, and you can just export it and you can share it with the world.
Yes.
And that's how compact it is.
Wow.
So integrating the GeoShred in the iPad was, I think, one of the best ever idea. So of course the future of GeoShred is still there, and I think a lot of awareness can bring about a lot of musicians around the world, and specifically in India. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I have an idea. I'm not very sure how it works, but a lot of vocal tutors, like, they use harmonium as an instrument to play and sing at the same time.
Harmonium over here.
Wow, that's another thing. We can have a harmonium. Like, that's great advice. Like, we can have a harmonium here. But also, if I have to explain somebody, like, that's a slide.
Yeah.
Like, I can actually show them. Like, so why don't we can incorporate GeoShred in vocal lessons also?
Definitely.
And they, like, they not only they can sing, but they know that, okay, when sa re means there are other notes like sa to ga to re, everything is there as a part of that.
Actually, when we do vocals, or like most students when they do vocals, we really don't realize all those variations when we do. We really don't realize how many notes we touch upon.
Yeah, but we sing because the teacher is singing. I also sing the same way.
Correct.
But here, practically, you get to know. You actually know that, okay, so it's not just a re. There are 3 more notes included into it. So it's one of the best way to even teach vocals. Not only GeoShred, you can use the GeoShred to teach vocals. And so of course there are endless possibilities. So definitely the future is really bright when it comes to GeoShred.
Very good, very nice, very nice. I told you as I do my morning riyaz, I started using GeoShred.
Wow. Yeah, I think I need to explore that possibility as well. Like with the apps like iTabla, iTanpura and all that, you can just play and you can do a
Yes.
lot of improvisation stuff. You can do, you know, it sounds crazy, but you can do jugalbandi with yourself. You can
Yes.
sing one line and then you can play.
You can
You can
play.
play.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's try out that possibility as well.
Yeah.
So here at LivDemy, we have like several courses. Like I teach some songs on violin, sarangi, flute, and we have amazing courses by Mahesh Raghavan and then Navneet Sundar sir. So like they, when I see them playing like Mahesh and Navneet, both of them are amazing players, but yet very
Absolutely.
different. And my approach is slightly different.
Even
Your approach is
yours is different. Yeah,
Thank you.
totally different. I mean,
yeah.
the expressions,
Yeah.
amazing expressions, and that
Thank you,
is
thank you
what
so
I
much.
just.
So the beauty
Yeah.
in this GeoShred is like even though you be a GeoShred player, but you still have a unique style.
Yeah, everybody.
And
can
everybody has a
have-
unique
yeah.
style. Like I'm more inclined towards the Geo Swam and the strings, and probably you love the sarangi the most. And Mahesh Raghavan has his own preset,
Signature
preset, and
Yeah.
he does like wonderful, like the trills and things.
Yeah.
Like we can go on and on.
Yeah, yeah,
With
amazing.
Mahesh. Navneet Sundar sir has his own way of playing the Carnatic gamakas. Incidentally, Navneet Sundar has his own preset called Ilavina. Do check out that one, and that's amazing. So, what is the style that you would like to focus more on in your playing, and like
I
how do you
think
want to go about it?
I'm drawn more towards classical, semi-classical, with lot of gamakas
Okay.
and things like that. Yeah.
Amazing.
But of
Amazing,
course,
right?
I'm also fascinated by the Western saxophone.
Wow.
Amazing. I love
Saxophone
playing
is
the
very
saxophone.
close.
So, yeah.
We like while talking about GeoShred, we cannot forget to mention the name of Mr. Jordan Rudess. He's
Yes.
the man behind the mastermind behind the Jordan Rudess.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even though his music is like completely Western, but the intricacies and the way he plays is like outstanding. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Like he had a certain vision in which he started the whole GeoShred,
Yeah.
and as a blessing in India, it really worked very well.
Absolutely.
Because Indian music is pretty much very strong in
We have a
melodic,
rich,
very
yeah,
rich melodic in
heritage.
nature, and the fluency of the gamakas and things that you can produce on GeoShred, like it's my favorite go-to MPE controller or the MP instrument here. We don't
Yes,
consider GeoShred as an
absolutely.
app. It's like an instrument. It's a go-to instrument. Like we can play every day. We don't really get to know the time. I know we can go on.
Yeah.
So, can we have a short
Yeah.
jam?
And before that, I would like to also say
Yeah.
that I really enjoyed the journey of GeoShred.
Wow.
Starting learning from you,
Thank
it
you
was
so much.
amazing. I really look forward to that class every week
Wow.
with you. It's been really amazing.
Thank you so much. So let's start something. thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank
with
you
us.
for inviting me.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
so much.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the chat with you.
Me too.